how can you really empower yourself to, are you a spender or a saver? So learn what you are, and then learn how to manage your money in that space.
Absolutely.
So let's go with I'm a natural spender. Put up some barriers between you and you spending your money. One thing you can do off the top of my head, unsubscribe from these emails. It's a little itty bitty word at the end of these emails, but just go in there, unsubscribe.
Yes.
Take your saved credit card or debit card out of your online shopping, wherever whether they're websites or apps or wherever you have that information saved. Take it out. So every time you go to make a purchase, you have to re-enter those 16 digits and put in your expiration date and put in the code on the back of the card. That creates more friction. Are you going to get out of bed or get off of the couch to go into your wallet to get the card out to buy whatever is in your shopping cart? And if it's in your cart, leave it there for 24, 48 hours. Sleep on it.
Yes.
We live in a society where you can really buy anything you want whenever you want. So whether they're telling you time's limited, it's the last one, it's not. It's going to be there. Maybe it's a different retailer, maybe it's a different price, but it will be there. So let yourself sleep on it. Leave the store or leave it in your cart, in your electronic cart.
Just be willing to say no, right?
You can do.
Be willing to say no. Be willing to leave without the product. Be willing to spend one more day with the stuff you already have, right?
Right.
Not replacing it with that new thing. Because the other thing that you'll learn, and I'm connecting with everything you're saying so much, because unsubscribing has now become like kind of a fun thing for me. I enjoy unsubscribing and giving the feedback. This is not something I'm interested in. This is something I was interested in, but I found a better product. Like giving that feedback to those manufacturers, they're asking for it anyway. And so now I actually get a little bit of satisfaction. It's not something I look forward to doing, but I do enjoy getting that clutter out of my email. And I no longer, because I've taken that action so many times now, that's the activity that's associated with that email instead of clicking on the link and going to see what the new thing is. Right. So it used to be that distraction or that encouragement to go buy. Now it helps to feed my healthy habit of unsubscribing and providing feedback, letting these manufacturers know, I was just looking around, or I thought I was interested, but it's not the right one, or there's a newer version of this, or you have a competitor out there that's doing it better. Like, I really enjoy providing some of that feedback and getting the clutter out of my inbox. We used to have a rule that you talked about, creating the barriers, the friction, the time. We had a rule when we started this process this is 17 years ago. This was extreme, but we said, we're going to wait 6 months before making these buying decisions. 6 months. How many of those original decisions do you think we actually executed?
Yeah, I would say slim to none.
Zero. None of them. So there was always something else. And your comment about there's always something to buy, these limited time offers, it's all a ploy. It's just it's something that's supposed to get you to take the action to execute the sale, right? To execute and complete a transaction. So absolutely, there's always going to be something to buy.
I want to give you something else to think about in terms of when you do choose to spend your money. All right, now you've decided, yep, I'm here. I want this thing. I hold my phone in my hand. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I've decided I want this thing. Is it going to ask yourself, is it a need or a want? Did my phone break? Is the screen, cracked? Can I not use it anymore? Or do I just want the latest phone because it has a better camera? Will it add value to your life? Will it bring you joy? Is it a need or a want? Why are you buying it? And is it in your budget? Can it wait? Do you have the money to buy it now?
There it is. Did you budget?
Right. Or are you saving 3, 6 a year, 3, 6 a month, 12 months for it to buy it then? And is it the right time? Is it the right retailer? So don't just give into your impulse if you are that spender where it's okay to be a spender.
Absolutely.
We don't want you to never spend money, but we want you to be in control of when you're spending it, where you're spending it, and what you're spending it on. We want you to feel empowered, not feel like it's the advertising. It's the keeping up with the Joneses. It's all these other outside influences that are really controlling the way you spend your money. And also, I want to get one more thing in there, Donald.
Yeah.
Are you living your life by looking in the rearview mirror, or are you looking out the windshield? If you're doing all of this spending and you're putting it on financing, you're putting it on a credit card, you're putting it on, the auto refill, like we talked about with Chick-fil-A, that means you're living in the rear view mirror. That's how you're living your life. If you're spending with cash and your debit card, then you're choosing in that moment today where you want that money to go in the future. Just something else to think about.
No, and that's huge. Thinking about the future, it's difficult. So as you know, Christine, I volunteer as a finance representative for our local church, the church that we attend, and I've been in a position in the past 12 months to be able to help other churches kind of level up their financial capability, their financial health as well. That's kind of a whole separate effort, but it's opened my eyes to something that I think really aligns, and I didn't think of it until just now when you were saying that, this idea of why is it so hard? And I think one of the reasons is because it's impossible to see the future. None of us know what's going to happen. But there's so much fear associated with what could happen, not what will happen. So it's interesting to me that you can sit down with somebody and say, okay, well, if we take this action, if we implement this policy in a church or make this decision and create this rule in our household for something like saving, right? I'm going to put a certain amount of money into an investment account and I'm going to leave it there so that it grows over time. It's interesting to me that we're so willing, just as a general comment in our society, to say, yes, but the market, what if it crashes? What if everything implodes? What if I lose that money, right? So that's one side of it, and we're willing to say that. But the opposite seems to not be true, where you should be, quite frankly, just as fearful of what happens to that money if I don't invest it, right? So you just said, what about the future of the money? So the saver says, put that money away. The spender says, we need things to survive, so we need to buy them, right? So there's a place for both of these people at the table. We need them both. And spending can also be kind of repackaged as a shopper, not just a spender, but a shopper. And a shopper can be invaluable in that relationship, where a saver just refuses to buy anything. And you end up in these like emergency scenarios where I'm not spending any money, but now I'm out of gas, I'm out of food, right? My clothes don't fit because I refuse to spend money. The shopper, the spender, enjoys shopping and enjoys the habit of spending. So with a certain set of parameters and rules, they can be just as, if not more valuable to that partnership than the saver, right? So I would say that these two roles are very equally weighted. And if you have both of those as your own personality, you can handle your own finances just fine, right? So, but this kind of unhealthy fear of the unknown that we impose this negative scenario that we're scared of to do nothing, but we're unwilling to impose the positive, opposite scenario to that same problem, right? That says, if I invest the money and it grows, I'm giving up all of this opportunity cost if I don't take that action, right? So $20, no, it's not 20, it's $100. When you're 20 years old, if you invest $100 every month into an IRA, by the time you're 42, I think it is, you're a millionaire, right? That's been true. Take any 25-year period ever in history, in the documented history of our economy, as both national and global, any 25-year period, and that's true. But there's a fear that the next 25 years isn't going to return that result. So are we making informed decisions? Are we making healthy decisions? And is it hard because it's hard, or is it hard because we're making it hard?
And I think it's also hard because it's for the people who, well, I'm living in the moment, I'm living for today.
Yep.
The future is so far off. When you're a youth, you're not thinking about when you're 20, 21, 22,
No.
retiring, right? You have a whole lifetime to work before you get there. So there are a lot of things that go into why managing money is so hard. And hopefully today we've given you some insight into that. And then we'd also like to set you up with some success or some next steps to All right, now that you have some awareness, what can you do?